Now we're going to look at nth child with CSS selectors, and you're going to be a master of nth child in about 5 or 10 minutes. The first one is here we have ULs with some LIs, and we got some CSS. And the first one is like format all first children of LI red. What's that look like? Let's look. Okay, first child. Every first child of some type becomes red. What that looked like in the CSS was LI first child. Last child, going to be the same thing. What's that CSS going to look like? LI last child. Each of the last children is going to be red. Okay. Just what you'd expect. Nth child. Baby, we're going to talk about nth child. And with nth child, we're going to look and see what we want to say. We can say nth child even, honey child. Nth child even. Reveal and finder. Dos, cuatro, second, fourth. Even. We could also do, of course, odd. And we could do zebra striping. So nth child even, background color this. Nth child odd, background color that. It's a different way to do colors. We'll learn about it later in the course. Reveal and finder. Zebra striping. Right? Odd color, even color, different things. So that was nth child odd, nth child even. And then we have nth child in. Honey child. This is going to be the third child. So we can say which child. And the third one. So it's 3 for that, right? So here's the CSS. Pretty much the same as over here in the CSS. Nth child. Format the third one. So we've had 3, we've had even and odd, and we've had last child, and we've had first child, right? And then there's nth last child. So from the last child, come up from the bottom 10. And so if we had all these, we would come up from the bottom 10. And that's nth last child in. So that one, 10 up from the bottom. And the CSS on that, nth last child, 10 up. Nth last child, A and B. Right? Nth last child, 3n plus 2. Here we have a big old list. Reveal and finder. 3n plus 2. It comes up, let's see, how's that work? 3n plus 2. 3n plus 2. So we start out and we go 1, 2, 3. Oh, so it's math. So the first n is 1. So 3n plus 1. No, that's not right. Let me think about how I describe 3n plus 2. 3n plus 2. Nth child. Oh, I need to be coming from the top. All right, that's why I was confused. I was thinking last child. Nth child, 3n plus 2. Here's the 2. So when n is 0, it's 2. Number 2 got highlighted. When n is 1, it's 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 got highlighted. When n is 2, right, kind of just going up, that's 6 plus 2 is 8. When n is 3, that's 9 plus 2 is 11. Got it? So try changing the selector to select each of the following. 8, 18, 28, 38. Well, that would be, it would be 8, 18. The jump is 10, so this one would be 10 n, and we want to start at 8. Right? Because when n is 0, we have 8. When n is 1, we have 18. When n is 2, we have 28. When n is 3, we have 38. So that would be 10n. And we could put that in there and see what happens. 8, 18, 28, 38. 8, 18, 28, 38, right? Here, 9, 12, 15, 30. We have, and we're going up by 3, so we're going to have 3n plus 9. When n is 0, we're 9. When n is 1, we're 12. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 9 is 12, right? Got it? What would this one be? Who can tell me? For a trip to Europe, all expenses paid, or a brand new Mercedes, or maybe a candy bar box. One of those three prizes will be yours. Who can tell me? What is it? What are we going up by? 9. We're going up by 9. What are we starting at? 3. So it's going to be 9n plus 3, right? 9n plus 3. So when n is 0, we got 3. When n is 1, we got 12. When n is 2, we got 21. It's math. It's kind of like point slope formula. Luckily, I didn't have to give away that trip to Europe. So that's the 3n plus, or the n, a, and they call it a and b. And then we have only child. So article only child, color red. And if we look at index, well, I just need to close all this. Here we have article and only child. This is the only child of its parent. I am not the only child of this parent. So only when something's an only child do we catch it. Let's review. We got an element selector, a class selector, an ID selector, an attribute selector. We have pseudo classes link, visit, hover, active in that order. We have focus. So if you're tabbing through something like a form, when it gets focused, you do something. We have first child. We have last child. We got nth child, right? Even, and we have nth child odd. And so here's nth child even, nth child odd. We got nth child in, so we can specify a certain child. We got from the bottom, nth last child. We got nth child A and B, which gives us like some random combination through a list. And we got only child. When it's only child, it'll be formatted. Next video, we're going to look at CSS with typography. How many people that blew your mind? You're like, I don't know what to do with all that. How many people are like, that's not that bad. You just learn that stuff and you stick it in. You look it up when you're ready to use it. You just got to remember it's like CSS Nth Child. You just have to remember love, ha, link, visit, hover, active. Cool.